But now I think I can revert that shader, right? Without problems. And then we have a working terrain again. Oh, I cannot revert it because I don't have it locally. I mean, I guess we can just do a plane for now. Yeah, or I build it new. Let's do that. Let's build it new in the shader graph. Whatever. Really fun that I had that. Okay, so let's do a plane and then a volume shader out node for now. And that's really just it. That's that. And we save that. Close, close, and let's clear our temp directory, and then we have a valid terrain again. Okay, I'm not quite sure where it dies, but I assume it's too much data that gets requested, if I would have to guess. Yeah. All right. Cool. Why do we still have this updating terrain thing? Volume terrain system. Okay, let's work instead on the shader reload. So how would I want to do that? Probably.
Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together and give a warm welcome to Team Gato.
When I do a shader include, I probably need to create a shader cache entry for it. Would be the first step. So in the shader cache, no, shader compiler. Where do we have that? Here, right? Shader includer. Probably we want the graphics API with it or the shader cache. Probably the shader cache. So in here, we give it this. And that would be the shader cache. And we have that here. And then this here. Okay. Oh, okay, well, that's fine. And then this one gets... Where's the shader includer? Oh, here. Okay. Can I get the shader includer here again? Get or shader includer? Set includer, but I can't get the includer or what? Okay, well, unfortunate. Then we just need to do that. Or we give it... Yeah, no. Guess we would need the shader cache here. So that is fine, but down here... Graphics API, we can't really get the shader cache, right? I guess in this case we just... As we are only validating anyways, maybe we don't. Or we can do that maybe. Here, another pointer. No, not const. All right. Oops, I don't have everything open yet. Streamer bot. Don't have my chat window open yet. Give me a second. All right, back in business. This. that and we pre-process the shader, then we say shader cache. Maybe get include or like oh, that's interesting. Not quite sure how to do that yet. Actually, that will be a little bit more complicated, not gonna lie. Hold on. Because technically those are not assets, so we will not even be notified when the file changes. And I don't want to run all the shaders, I think, all the time. I think what makes sense maybe is yeah, actually maybe that makes more sense. Hold on, let me think again. Yeah, maybe that makes actually a little more sense. Let's do not that. I don't think that makes actually too much sense. I think what I want to do instead is shader preprocessor. Probably want to get all the includes there. Yeah, exactly here. So I mean the includes are preprocessed shader dot m includes append range properties additional includes for sure. Well, yeah, they always come back. The Ubisoft GPUs, right? Ars global scope. Wait, what? Wait. Read line, current line. Maybe not. Maybe we do parse global scope. Reader. I think that makes kind of sense, I don't know. And then if read conditioner starts with that, then parse pragma maybe I just read the whole line, right? I don't know. Basically, line ignore case starts with line and pragma. Then we parse that. Or we always do that, right? We always append the line, unless we return early or something like that, I would say. Parse define if we want to. But then errors if line. Where? If we start with an include, then we do pre-processed shader, right? We need that one. Oh wait, is that always the case that we... Oh wait, is that not even used? Hold on. That's not even used, god damn it. Guess we don't use that. Or do we? Oh no, we do. Oh, well, we don't really use it. Never mind. Should I rent a server just to host my code? I don't know. I will probably use my own server. I will not rent one. Okay, maybe let's rethink that again. So that's the global shader code, right? Yeah, let's do global includes And this is the shader includes, and then here let's do preprocessed shader. Shader dot m includes dot append range m global includes at that stage, right? M global includes append line. Well, actually, we probably only want to have well, we would only want to have the file name. So let's do substring of 9 to the end. Append, not append range. Where? Place back, sorry. Well, actually, you substrings line don't find first off that +1, and then that is line last of that. So that would be auto first index, or include file name start. Auto include file name end. None. Should do it. Probably. I can find out if it works. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Let's not do that crap. So I want to include in my hash the includes for sure of the file. Okay, well that didn't really work how I would want it. Let's kill it. We need to debug the shader compilation, right? Are we not hitting the breakpoint or what? What? Hello? shouldn't you hit that breakpoint? Line. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what? Offset 1? Okay, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Core stack, lockers. Wait, am I stupid? Didn't that return force? Return true. How does this return true? Not again. You know what? I will kill that and make a string or two lower. String starts with two lower RHS or prefix. Whatever. Cause fuck that. Okay. Perfect. 10, 29, and then this is probably wrong, right? Okay, no, actually that works. Perfect. Good. Alright, so that works. And then what we will do is shader cache probably. Is we will save out all the includes. Preprocessor get includes. Or get all includes. Hash set string. Okay. For each, string include or like global include. Actually, that can be a hash set, right? Already. That should be a hash set as well. So all includes is basically global includes, and then we include all of the lower ones as well. So we go through each shader stage. Do we do that here somewhere? Ah, kinda here. All includes place includes string. And then we return all includes. And actually that's not correct, right? I need to do it different. Fuck. Can I get the includer somehow? I really would want to get the includer somehow. I mean, I guess I could actually. Yeah, let's do that. I'll be right back. I need a bathroom break, but then we will do it a slightly different. Be right back. Alright, where is the music? Okay, there's the music. And be right back, text gone. I noticed that my camera was not working, so I plugged that in as well again, because And sometimes when the graphic card dies, my my camera just stops. Alright, so I think what I want to do is shader cache. Yeah, I think, and we want to compile here. And what I want to have is out bytecode and hash set string out includes. I think that is what I want. And then what I want as well is okay here, and then this out includes, and then here hash set string out includes. And can I not get that out then anymore? Not really. I wouldn't say it's a performance issue. And I wouldn't say I rely heavily on it. It depends on the use cases, right? The whole pin system is heavily templated. So it really depends on the area of the engine. And virtual functions are not really slow. It always depends on what you need to do and on the context. And sometimes the templated logic actually performs worse than the virtual core. Yeah, what Captain Chica said. It really, I mean, it's not dirt cheap, right? It depends really on the context, but usually it's very cheap, yeah. And the overhead of the V-table is like minimal. There are some cases where it can be a problem, but most of the time, in like 99% of the cases, dynamic function calling is like really not a problem. I actually don't know where this myth came from, but it's probably at some point people started to think that they have to heavily template everything because oh my god, VTable and it's slow, but I don't know. It's really not the case. And sometimes it's, as I said, outperforms the templated stuff. Because you have to do so much stuff to achieve the same sometimes with templates, that it's not worth it. I mean, not really. You don't really have a cache miss necessarily. It, as I said, it really depends. Can you explain more? Well, the only way how I found the static polymorphism most of the time to work is that you store, for example, your thing in a variant or something like that, and call the visit, and then call functions using std visit on your variant and stuff like that. That's how I saw the static polymorphism work. And sometimes you really can't get away without that, which is like, and that is most of the times, in my opinion, makes the code harder to read, and sometimes, as I said, doesn't perform as well as just a virtual function that is already optimized, because we are using it for decades now, and people really invested time to optimize the VTable and all that stuff around it. I don't have a concrete example for you on the top of my head. Because it really depends always on the context and measuring. But I wouldn't... Just what I want to say is, don't think that virtual functions are slow. That's all I'm saying. You really should measure, and if your virtual function is a problem, then you can think about it. But in 99% of the cases, your virtual function will not be the problem why your code is slow. How do I get my shader includer? Because I give it as a unique pointer into that thing. But I would want to get out the includes again. I mean, I guess I could get a ref, like a... I guess I could keep the pointer, right? Basically, I could do shader includer. Set up shader includer. Now I give it the compiler options here. Well, we don't really need that. Return shader. Well, return includer. We could maybe even already have this as a unique pointer here. Make unique. Unique pointer like that and that, and then we need to probably std move that out here to work. And then we have unique pointer shader includer. Shader C options set includer std move includer. So far so good. Down there we do the same. Shader includer. So that should give us hopefully everything, and then at the end out includes get includes I have worked on game engines directly for 3 years at Ubisoft, and then now maybe 2 years in another company. And I worked on gameplay and, well, games in general since 2011, so 14, 15 years by now. But on the game engines itself, as an engine programmer, I was only 3 years in Ubisoft, and then, yeah, 1 to 2 years now in this company, because I do a little bit of gameplay as well, so yeah, it's not really game engine per se. But yeah, I was as well a gameplay programmer, lead gameplay programmer at Ubisoft, so I worked at Ubisoft for 8 years or something like that. 7.5 years, something like that. 7 years-ish. And 3 of those as engine programmer. Shader includer. Let's do get hash set string get includes const turn m include paths. Get include paths maybe. here hash set string and include path. We probably do that, and then here include paths and place requested path. Although, does that make sense? I mean, maybe it does make sense, right? Actually, maybe not. Maybe we actually return here something different. Here we actually return clues, and we basically return for each auto include in includes, and this is const ref. This all includes. Included file path, I think, should be it, right? Because that should be the full path to the file, which makes it probably best to work with. Yeah. So that should give us all our includes, hopefully. And we can then merge them into this list and have our includes, hopefully. What is that? Shader preprocessor? Yeah, let's not do that. We actually don't care about that anymore. I think the includes here, we can kill them as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. Pre-processurialize. I don't think we care about that. Yeah, we don't care about that. Don't I have... Well, whatever. Auto string, what am I doing there? Maybe not quite as much as I would have wanted to get done today so far. Compile. I think we want to get out here the hash set string out includes. Right, yeah. This is a reference. hash set string includes. And I mean, yeah, let's do actually all includes here. And then here we have an all includes list. Okay. Yeah, nice. That works. Okay. So what we then do is shader cache. We have a hash map of U64 to a list of other U64s, and that is basically header hash to shader hash entries. Links header shader header to all shader cache entries that are using it. Alright, so basically what we then do at the end here is for each const string shader, well, const string include in all includes, we get our this with a hash 64. Probably a 34 hash would be enough, but whatever. Isn't that how it's... like that? Yeah. I think it is. Yeah, okay. Happy Tuesday? What? What's on Tuesday? Then we place back our shader hash here. Oh, okay. Really? They're... Oh, I mean, I guess, yeah, they are that far ahead, yeah. So that should give us all the hashes for the include and their... Yeah. Does that make sense like that? Or maybe... Maybe we do it in the entry, in the shader cache entry, we actually have a list of hash set includes. Maybe we do that actually. Maybe that makes more sense. Entry includes all includes. I think we actually, as it's a public thing, we remove those Beautiful. Yeah, we need to then serialize and deserialize that, of course, but let's not do that for now. Don't really care about that yet. So that should give us now into this includes a whole list of all the includes, right? Okay, we have more. I think I will call it a day soon though. We're streaming already quite long, but maybe I try to finish the shader cache, not sure. Would be nice to have it, I think. Let's see how far we get. Alright. Don't care about that. Okay, so we have this includes here. And then 2 includes here. 3 includes. Do we have more? Ever? I mean, maybe not, because those shaders are quite cheap in like terms of what they... Oh, there was 4. But... Damn, how many shaders do I actually already have just for that? So this one should be now a little bit more, right? Yeah, 6. Okay. Perfect. So we have all of that. Let's then write... stream write shader, well, includes, I think. And we need to load that as well. So before the reflection info here, stream read out entry includes. Let's see if that works. So first we need to compile, and then I want to reload, right? Okay. Then here, set a breakpoint here when we load. Oh, that didn't work. Hash set. Do we not have a hash set overload? Maybe not. Oh, we have a set, but not a hash set. Okay. And then the write we need as well. Where is my set? Can I do a write? Probably. Oh. That needs to go. All right. Let's see. That should be better now, hopefully. Alright, so that worked like that, and then we have 0 includes, perfect. Oh, we have 3 includes, perfect. It works. Nice. Alright, so that works. And then made a cache. Probably we want to do as well. Directory watcher, right? So I want to basically create that. So shader cache, we add a directory watcher. Add path, all the mount points. Shader compiler. All those. Cursive true. Alright. That should do that. And then M directory watcher on file changed. Or do we have that already used? So we connect that. And then if... Well, actually, we can't do anything here. Don't really know if I care about the action per se. But let's look at for each shader cache entry. Ah, but we need to... Yeah, that's a little bit more complicated then, right? But yeah, it's fine. As long as we don't have the asset system, it's a little bit more complicated, but yeah. Path. Let's first try to find all the entries that changed. Oh, we don't even have the shader, the path here. If shader path hash is not... shader changed. And then we do another one. Shader header changed if entry dot includes. That? Is it that or is it range as fuse? No, it's this, right? Do I need to call anything on the directory watcher? No, right? That should automatically work like that. Or do I need to call a start? No, don't think so. Let's see. So, and now let's go to the common header, for example. And change that a little bit. Okay. Well, that didn't work. Why would that not work? Entry. Builds, dependencies, data shaders includes common. Wait, what? Because... But... No, shouldn't that be defined then? String? Generic? Path? Shouldn't that be correct? Oh, why is it double then suddenly? And yeah, this one is definitely not the generic string, okay. So let's do shader shader includer. When we do insert here, generic string. For sure. Oh, well, we need to recompile the shaders for that to work. Why would that trigger? Okay, we don't want the temp directory in there. Is that already used somewhere? Thought I already might do a check like that somewhere. Okay. Why would it be that file changed? On file action. Okay, let's see what that does. That's directory. And then that, and then this becomes this weird thing. where we do that, I don't know. Okay. Good, maybe. Yes, perfect. Nice, so that works. So we need to do a lexically in normal, and then we get shader header changed for pretty much everything because the command is included in pretty much any shader. Cool. I will call it a day though for today, but that's a good part done for the shader reloading. The next bit missing would be converting our shaders to assets so that the asset reloader kicks in for the O shaders, but for the headers we have to trigger a manual reload here basically. That would be the thing we need to do. But then that would work out of the box. That would be quite nice. So we can do that. And probably we want to validate. Let's see. I need to think about it, but probably we want to validate the shader before reloading it, so that we don't erase a valid shader if there is a mistake. But then we need like proper error handling. Alright. Thank you very much for joining. I am super hungry. But yeah, we did some good progress. The volume shader graph is working. We are halfway there to have asset reloading for shaders. That is like the last bit, and then we do a little bit of performance optimization this week, and then 0.4 is finally done, and we can move on to something new from the terrain, which will be Linux. Aren't we all looking forward to that? Yeah. Still need to figure out how I would want to stream that. Probably... yeah, maybe I will stream it with my... like, still on my Windows machine, but maybe... yeah, I will figure that out. Maybe some kind of remote thing to my server or something like that. Never. Absolutely never. That will never happen. Unless you do it. I won't. But yeah, thank you Captain Chica for the donation. I will look at the thing how to make you VIP on the stream because I have no idea. But probably it's something in the role settings on the stream. Yeah, I'm not doing macOS, don't worry. They will not get Onyx. Out of principle. And yeah. Have a nice rest of your evening. We will be back not tomorrow, on Wednesday. Yeah, one of the main reasons is I don't want to give them money, because at least back in the day, that's like 10 years ago, to be fair, you needed to pay a license to even like ship something on macOS. And that's like insane to me. And then you need Xcode and you need a Mac machine to even build official versions. Not gonna happen. Whoever wants to do that can implement that themselves, that platform. Yep. See you on Wednesday. Have a nice Tuesday. Thank you for joining. Some good progress. We are close to finishing 0.4. I can see it finally. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, kind of, yeah. That's fair, but yeah. Yep, bye bye. Was nice. Have a nice evening. See you on Wednesday. Bye bye.